questions for Joe. Start with John.
Joe, obviously, third quarter there, you just given up 3 offensive rebounds. You call a timeout. You pull all the starters. What were you seeing in that moment? What was that huddle like, and what made you run with that group in the third quarter?
I mean, we always talk about depth, and that we always have 12, 13 guys that can be able to help us win games at any different moment. So I just thought it was a good opportunity to utilize the depth that we have. And, you saw a game where depth comes in many different ways, and that's it. At any point in time, everybody on our bench can impact winning. And so it was just a great opportunity to take advantage of the depth that we have. And I thought those guys did a great job just kind of changing the pace of the game.
And you have, once again, Luka coming in and playing almost the entire second half, and Ugo doing the same thing. I mean, what about those two? Now, 2 games in a row now with these 2 guys have come in and completely given you a huge boost of energy.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's part of the depth that we have. I mean, 82 games is a long time. The season's long. The standard that we have to play at, the effort that we have to play at is hard. It's difficult, and we need everybody to be able to do it. And so there's been stretches of the season, where guys have done that for us. And right now it's Luka and Ugo, doing a little bit of that. But I think Ant has been really good for us the last couple of games as well, and he gets kind of put under the radar a little bit. But I thought some of his scoring stretch tonight and where he's grown defensively helped that unit as well. So again, any night it could be anybody on the bench, and we just have to keep taking advantage of that. And it's a credit to those guys.
Joe, you guys entered the day 16th in defensive rating, but 2nd in points per game. You forced turnovers this year. Where are you at on your defense and how it's played lately and this season overall?
Yes, 16th in actual. I think we're 4th or 5th expected, and a lot of that has to come with our defensive rebound percentage. And we just got to continue to get better at our first shot, points per shot is really good defense. Our first shot defense is good. We got to do a better job taking care of rebounding the basketball. And then the times where it's not been at our best, it's been because of our live ball turnovers.
And in this game, first half, they hit a lot of shots. Did you feel good about the process you guys were in and they were just hitting those? And what did change in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana's the type of team where I think it was both. I think if you allow them to hit those shots and be comfortable, they're a really difficult team to turn off. They're a very high rhythm team. And so I thought we gave them some open ones that allowed them to get into that rhythm. And once they got into that rhythm, it kind of snowballed. So it was both. It's a little bit of them, but a lot more we could do to control it.
Joe, you guys have been preaching the Stay Ready group and staying ready in general for a really long time, but this year you've had more opportunities to actually give guys that are 12, 13 on the bench a chance. Are nights like tonight kind of affirm everything you're preaching and make it easier almost for that message to hit? Or how do you think about that, the fact that you should have opportunities where bench turned the game around tonight?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not just tonight. I mean, it's been like that all season. I mean, Josh has started, Jordan has started, Ugo has started. We went small, we went big. Guys have finished games. I mean, we've played multiple lineups. So I mean, it's not just tonight. It's been the entire season, really. I think tonight you saw it in its biggest form because it was 4 different guys. Ugo was in. I think it was just and they played a long stretch. So no, I mean, it's been happening almost the entire season as we continue to chip away at the identity and the standard that we have to play at. So, I mean, Baylor was great tonight on some of his. He took the charge and then the transition 3. So, tonight is obviously fresh in everyone's mind, but it's been going on throughout the majority of the season.
And because it has, do you find it when you're preaching Stay Ready, is it resonating more for players than it has in years past because they're seeing the results of that?
No, I mean, I think it resonated in the past. I mean, I think that, heading into this, it always knew it was going to be a strength because all the guys coming back had won games for us. You take a look at everybody on our roster that has returned had won games, and the staff does a great job in that. And so I don't think it's resonated any more than it has in the past. I think it's just they're playing more. To your point. And so you just have to continue to take advantage of it. But it breeds a level of expectation, a level of accountability, a level of professionalism that's necessary to try and win. And so it's a credit to the guys for buying into that, but they got to keep doing it.
You mentioned Ant's growth defensively. Where have you seen that most, and where did you see it tonight, specifically?
No, I mean, tonight it was his scoring and just his overall, just his presence defensively. I mean, just his ability to impact the ball, his ability to ball pressure. He just played well for us. And, and we talk about depth. We talk about guys sacrificing, making all that. I mean, there's no one that's done that more than him over, the transition, and I thought he's handled it really well. And, I think when he's aggressive for us, it makes us a little bit of a different team in those second units, and you kind of saw that tonight.
In the past, you've talked about, being up big, there's this inherent human nature to like protect the lead, and being down, like you have nothing to lose. Like, what does it take to harness that when you are down versus just like the concept of it like being thing? Like, what does it take to
I
harness
mean,
it? And
when
use
you're
it?
down, there's multiple things here. I mean, they went 3 for 20 in the second half after going 12 for 20 in the first half. So there's a small level of that. There's a level of like we picked it up and we played. And there's just a level of like you just have to have an understanding, okay, what are we doing well? What do we have to do better? And, regardless of the score. And I also told the guys of like, listen, there's 60 games left. Like, you have to earn wins. It's the NBA. Like, like we were down 12 in the middle of the third. That's almost a tie game in the NBA. I mean, 12 points is like, so like, but once you get past the emotion of like, even a 20-point game in the third is nothing. I mean, it's just it triggers an emotion. And in reality, you just have to have a perspective of like, there's so many possessions left in the game. A 12 to 20-point game in the third quarter is nothing. And so you have to earn wins in this league, and you have to earn them differently. And it's just, that's the mental toughness that we have to continue to build. But, I mean, being down 12 in the third quarter, I'm pretty comfortable with that just because, you've seen it around the league all the time and how many possessions are left. And we just got to chip away.
Joe, it seems like the starters were able to obviously sustain the momentum that the bench built up when they came back in the third quarter, and then Jalen 14 points in the fourth. Yeah. I think 7 straight games for him with 30 or more points now. Can you just speak to his consistency and the efficiency he's kind of playing with this year?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he had 14 points, just made plays. I mean, I think, like you said, not only carried it on the offensive end, carried it on the defensive end. And so, he knew we weren't playing at our best. I thought he responded great, and I thought when it was his time, and that's what I told him. I said, this is what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's a 8 to 12-point game. Like, we have to earn these wins. We have to earn this opportunity to develop the mental toughness that it takes to try to compete at a high level. And he's been doing that for us the entire season. And the efficiency in the offense is one thing, but he does it defensively for us as well. And I think he's just playing great basketball for us.
Joe, it's one thing when you got guys like, Josh or Jordan to take them out of the starting lineup or pull them, but when it's Jalen, Peyton, and Derek, and they're coming out 2 minutes into the third quarter, are there anything you need to say, or they're like, yeah, we know we're not playing well and we know how this goes?
I mean, to me, it's. I look at it as the other way of like they have an understanding that we can impact games in different ways, and so I think it's just more about like, this is what the game needs at this particular time. Let's have an understanding that these guys are going to help us keep it. Let's get it back a little bit, keep it close, and then it's their responsibility when they come back to win. And so I thought it went like today as an example of like a team. It's like you're not always going to be at your best. Guys come in, they keep it close, they chip away at it. You come back, you guys do your job, and everybody's responsible for winning. So I think it's more of just kind of the guys. It's a credit to them of having an understanding that anybody can impact winning at any time. Okay,
so is it psychological because Jalen, Peyton, and Derek are watching guys do what they should do? So when they get in, they're saying, "Okay, let's."
No, I think it's just empowerment. I think it's just empowerment. Like these guys can help us win. These guys can help us win, and we need them, and they need us. And you take care of the guy next to you. I think so. I think it's just a level of empowerment amongst the guys on the team.
You mentioned 20-point lead is nothing in the second half, and you said it triggers an emotion. There are times it feels like, not necessarily with your team, but just around the NBA, when that emotion gets triggered, guys kind of call it. If it's whatever, you're down by 20 in the third, comes 25, you say it's not our night. Yeah. What's the key to not triggering that emotion and kind of making sure guys still understand?
I was talking about emotional from like everybody else, not a team. Like it's not always a bad thing to be down. Like you can be playing well down 20, you can be playing poorly down 20. You can be playing bad up 20, you can be playing poorly down 20. I thought, it's really just you have to just build a perspective of like, okay, this is why we're in this position. This is what we're doing well. This is not. And I thought even though we subbed, I still thought we were playing some decent basketball. There was just the stuff that just wasn't going our way, and that just happens. And so, again, you just have to build the perspective of like, here's the truth, here's what's going on, here's what we got to do. And then I think in times like that, as if you get it to 12, then you do something ignorant, and then it's like goes back to we didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like every time out we came back, we chipped away at it. And so it's just having an understanding that we have to earn it. It's one possession at a time. It went from 20, then it was 12, then it was 8, then it was 4, and then our guys did what they did. So we just got to keep that perspective.
Joe, with Luka, he's led the game in offensive rebound in back-to-back games here. He's second on the team in totals this year. Just what do you see from him and his effort on that end of the floor?
Yeah, it's just consistent effort. We talked about certain things are a skill. His ability to just play, the ability to play the way he does is a skill. That's why he's hung around the league. That's what makes him a special player. But he's got a knack for the ball on the offensive end, has a knack for getting angles, drawing fouls on offensive rebounds. He probably has more. I don't know if you get credit for the drawing a foul on an offensive rebound, but he gets 2 of those a game. It's just his physicality and his presence. I thought his screening was great tonight. He just keeps getting better for us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.